Are you living somebody else's life right now? Are you in a job that you can't stand? Do you do you not even want to get out of bed every day? You have no goal, no clear path to who you want to be, why you want to be it. And so you just feel stuck in this rat race in this world. Do you? Listen, stick around. Come on. Come on in here with me for the next 5 minutes. Let's just have a little conversation. Let's talk. Because we've all been there, myself included. We've all been there. It's no fun. It's nothing that we intended, right? There's so many people in this world right now that are in these positions of their world, of their life, that they just feel stuck. They just don't know what to do. They don't know how to get out of it. And you know what? That's okay. It's truly okay. Because the moment that you understand that life isn't about finding yourself, but it's about creating yourself, the moment that you're willing to create the next version of you, to create the best version of you, you can do it. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are deserving of all those things. So let me ask you this. Do you understand? I'm going to give you a term. And the term we're going to talk about today is identity capital. And so first we must understand what that is, right? So let's start with identity. Merriam-Webster's dictionary says identity is the distinguishing character or personality of an individual. So let me ask you this right now. Think about yourself. What is your identity? Can you define it? Who are you? Is it that you're connected to the house or the car or the zip code? Is it a number in your bank account? What is it? Be honest with yourself. It's okay, right? I tell people all the time, I have the, I get to talk about this in so many different areas. And I talk about, being a professional baseball player, being a Division I baseball player and being all Pac-10 and going on to play professionally. And you can even ask my mom. From the time I was like 3 years old, all I ever wanted to do was play baseball. And that's all I did. And one day it came to an end. And I say that story because that was my identity. I was a baseball player. I'll never forget, a few years later, I was in a grocery store and I ran into a gentleman and he's like, hey, Jeremy, hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, stay here for a second. And he waves over his kid and here comes this little dude, like 7 or 8 years old. And he's like, hey, Joey, I want you to meet Jeremy. Jeremy's the baseball player I was telling you about. And inside, I smiled and I met him and I said hello and we talked a little baseball and I asked him what team he was on and we had a good conversation. And inside I was dying. I was absolutely dying because he called me a baseball player and I hadn't been a baseball player for years. You see, but that was my identity and I was stuck. So what we have to be able to do is we have to create that next version of you. We have to create and to be better is what I learned was I should have never been attached to being a baseball player. I should have just been being the best version of me that I could be at all times. Instead of trying to be the best shortstop or the best second baseman or the best leadoff hitter or whatever those things are that I did, what I should have been doing is absolutely positively just being the best version of me, be the best I could be. And not be caught up in comparing myself to other players, not being caught up in comparing myself to people who weren't even around. But it happens. And that's how we learn. Truth be told, that's how Optimal Self was built, is to be able to help people, to be able to understand that we can create our identity and we're not stuck in the ones that we have. And most of us are truly living somebody else's identity, somebody else's version of us, because they told you you were good at something when you were little. They told you you were this or that, or maybe they told you you weren't this or that. And it took you away from truly being the best version of you. You see, there's many ways, but let's get to identity capital. So now we know what the identity is. And capital, by the same dictionary, is the total of one's money or property. but I want you to think of capital as the currency, okay? Because Dr. Meg Jay, the author of Defining Decade, you see, defined identity capital as the currency we use to metaphorically purchase jobs and relationships. But even better, it is what we do to invest in ourselves. It is what we do to invest in ourselves. It's about owning up to your choices and truly becoming the person you want to be. That's what it is. So, how do we build identity capital? Because if we're going to create ourselves and we're going to truly step out of what other people are trying to put on us, society, family, friends, whatever, and we're going to truly dig into ourselves and build the person you want to be, the human you want to be, how you want to be seen, how you want to be heard. And we're going to truly create that human, which is all possible, and which is you are absolutely have to just step into your greatness unapologetically. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. Let's take a look. So I'm going to give you 5 ways to earn identity capital right now. Number 1, you got to get rid of toxic relationships. You see, because environment matters. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So you want to earn wherever you are in your life, you got to take responsibility for those choices. We all do. Where you are, you have to take responsibility. The moment you do, you unlock the power to have anything you want in this world. But environment matters. If you stay in the same environment, if you think the same things, if you talk to the same people, if you stay in that same toxic relationship or whatever it is, environment, you're never going to get anywhere because they're always going to bring you back in. Because you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most, right? You spend the most time with, as Jim Rohn would say. So number 1, how do I build identity capital? I got to get rid of the toxic relationships. I got to step into the best version of me. All right. Number 2, you've got to set a goal. So let's set a 30-day goal. Why? Because you need a new target. You need something else to shoot for. Even a new you could be 50 pounds less. A new you could be somebody who reads every day. A new you could be whatever. You have to come up with it. Could be somebody who does go for a walk every morning, who hydrates every morning. It could be any of these things, right? But you got to set a goal because you got to have a target or we're just shooting it air, all right? Number 3, you got to do one thing daily that leads you to that goal. This is your daily action item. If you set that goal, if that goal is I'm going to lose 50 pounds, then guess what? I've got to do something today that's going to get me there. Maybe that's getting up and going for a walk. Maybe that's cooking all the food that I'm going to eat that day. Maybe it's going grocery shopping and re-energizing myself with foods that are going to give me energy, that are going to give me brain power, that are going to make me a better version of me, that are going to give me the opportunity to have more energy. But listen, once you set the goal, you got to do one thing. Don't try to do 1,000 things. It's one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Told you the story of the lady who said, hey, I want to go on this excursion. And she thought it was going to be a 20-mile hike. And so the first thing she did is she bought a treadmill and she started walking on the treadmill. 5 minutes. That's it. Started with 5 minutes every single day. Every day she got up because anybody could do that. Anyone. Get up and walk for 5 minutes. And she did. And 5 led to 10. Led to 20, led to 50. Before you know it, she's running a marathon. But you got to do one thing daily. All right? Number 4, do one thing that's for you. You see, in order to build identity capital, in order to build that, in order to place that currency in the bank of my identity, I've got to do something for me. Our principles, here's 3 of them right there. If you want to know more, we have a full course. Just hop on. The link is in the description here, or it's in our bio. You can find it. But if you want more of the principles, we for sure would love for you to get those. But listen, you got to do one thing for you. And I said 1. I'm giving you 3: hydrate, move, read, whatever. right? Whatever that is, you have to be able to pick it. You got to be able to do it, and you got to be able to follow it. Imagine how much better you feel every day. You got up and every day you started with a hydration cocktail. It's 16 ounces of water, a pinch of Himalayan sea salt, and some lemon. Imagine you just did that day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, every day. You're depositing in that identity bank, and you're proving to yourself that you're capable. You're proving that you're worthy, and you're doing it. Do one thing every day. Finally, number 5, how do I earn identity capital? Spend quality time with the ones you love. Quality time. Don't just be in the room. Don't be sitting on your phone. Spend quality time. See, in the self-determination theory, one of the parts of that build motivation is we got to be somebody to others. And more importantly, be the example, because they'll follow you. They'll watch you. And it doesn't happen with one time. It happens over time. Do it over and over and over again. And they will take notice. They will. Because it takes very short time, weeks, before people start to see the difference. They start to see your light to shine. They start to see your skin looking better. They start to see your energy getting more. It doesn't take long, y'all. It doesn't. So again, real quick, 5 ways to earn identity capital. Get rid of toxic relationships. Set a 30-day goal. Do one thing that leads you to that goal. Do one thing for you daily. And very important, spend quality time with the ones you love. Be somebody to others and be the example. And I'm going to leave you with this quote, and I hope it sits hard. See, we are kept from our goal not by obstacles, but by a clear path to lesser goals. Yeah, it's not the obstacles. It's that we look for the easy way out. It's the lesser goals that get in the way of our ultimate goal. So what do we got to do? Remove the lesser goals. Get so passionate. Get insanely passionate about your goal, and then be the person who can achieve it. Because again, you're not kept from the goal by an obstacle. You're kept from the goal by a clear path to a lesser goal. All right? There you go. 5 ways to earn identity capital. How to build identity capital. And get out there, share it, talk about it, get an accountability partner, put it in the comments, do whatever you got to do, right? What is that thing that you want to do? You've got to announce it to the world. You've got to be accountable to it. You got to be excited about it. And then get out there and wake up every day and do one thing that's going to get you there. Because if you do, remember this, habits stack. Go back a few episodes. We talk just about that, and we talk about how they stack and why they stack. But I want you to understand, just do one thing. That one thing will lead to the next. You got to put that currency. You got to put that currency into that identity. You got to build that capital. And you got to create the best version of you. All right? As always, please share, comment, whatever it takes. Like it. Look, there's somebody in your world right this second that's struggling with their identity. They're struggling with who they are. Hey, just send it to them. Hey, give it a listen. Why not? And please head over to the YouTube channel. We appreciate it so much. It's growing, but we need you to subscribe. And we need you to share. We need you to comment. We need you to like. Please give us a rate and review on any of the podcast platforms. It helps us grow. It helps us get the message out. And one person at a time, let's keep creating some more optimal selfers. All right? Thanks for your time. Have a great morning, evening, afternoon, night, whenever you're hearing this. And get out there and be the best version of you.